Listening there.
Well, let's take a look at today's team news. And Middlesbrough boss Gareth Southgate has asked for more belief, and he's shown precisely that in the players that started the match against West Ham. It's the same lineup that saw them off in the FA Cup on Wednesday. Tunchai and Jeremy Aliadier will spearhead the quest for a league goal. It's lasted for over 8 hours of football. The wonderful results in Madrid came at some cost to Liverpool. No Fernando Torres because of the ankle injury he sustained in Spain, but the blow is cushioned by Steven Gerrard's return to the starting lineup. Sami Hyypiä, Ryan Babel and Nabil Elzar also come in, the latter making his first Premier League start. So second bottom play host to second top. The team that scored fewer league goals than any other club in England against the team with the fewest defeats in the English League, both needing 3 points for very different reasons, something Liverpool haven't achieved on this ground for 7 long years. But Dean Sturridge, you'd make them massive favourites today.
I'm sure they are the favourites, but you know, you look at their respective league positions and think it'll be an easy victory for Liverpool, but I think it'll be a difficult day for them today. I really do. You know, Middlesbrough will be buoyed by their midweek performance, albeit in the FA Cup, but hopefully that'll kick-start their season. And I'm sure, you know, Liverpool have had problems against Middlesbrough over the years and haven't scored many goals, so it should be an enthralling game.
Well, Jamie Carragher, the only survivor from the lineup that started Liverpool's last victory on this ground, March 2002, when Phil Thompson was standing in for the stricken Gerard Houllier as manager. Emile Heskey and John Arnorisa with the goals. Gareth Southgate scored for Middlesbrough.
I bet he'd like to have his boots on and out there again today. Unfortunately he can't, but I'm sure he's got a big part to play, being the manager.
And the first ball searching for Ryan Babel from Fabio Aurelio, who himself has on occasions occupied the left midfield berth in recent weeks, and back in his more regular full-back role today. Here's Gary O'Neill. But ball had gone out. Was a slight doubt before this match, Gary O'Neill, with a little knock he picked up in the midweek match against West Ham, but no surprise really that the Middlesbrough boss has kept faith with his starting lineup. No surprise too that Rafa Benitez has made changes, 4 in all today. It is his way.
Well, the biggest one of all is Elzar, isn't it? It's his debut. It's a big moment for him. Hopefully he can grab it with both hands.
Count onto Elzar, and a chance here! And Brad Jones to the rescue, but it's not over. Count again. And Middlesbrough survive a genuine scare.
It was, wasn't it? Well, the goals led a charmed life. Count and Elzar had very good opportunities there.
Aurelio with a chance to keep the pressure on, and Dirk Kuyt foraging. But a couple of opportunities there for Liverpool.
What it was good play and good one too, and the chance for Elzar is a decent one, just doesn't go across the keeper. It's a good save by Jones, and then eventually falls out to Kuyt, and he kind of scuffs his strike, and it's good defending by I think it was Huth, wasn't it? Robert Huth there, that gets the slightest of deflections. I think that Elzar's the better chance, but then when it falls to Kuyt, kind of scuffs his strike.
Meanwhile, Liverpool very much on the defensive with Tunchai raiding. Jamie Carragher stepping in. A stalwart figure, made his debut for Liverpool on this ground 12 years ago now in a League Cup tie. Central midfielder in those days.
But he's a defender now that's performed exceptionally, hasn't he, over the years, and has made that place his own and been exceptional. They've started the better side, haven't they? Liverpool started very confidently, carried on from midweek, Champions League, impressive performance in Madrid.
Well, if you can't be confident after winning there, when can you be?
You can, I'm sure, but it shows the attitude of the players. sure everybody knows it's not as glamorous a tie, but Benitez has got him working very well.
This is Mascherano. His comments after the match in Madrid were that we've got to treat Middlesbrough with the same respect and with the same attitude out there on the field as the more illustrious opponents they faced in midweek. Chorus of approval from the travelling band from Merseyside for the manager. This is Tunchai. Downing wants it, finally gets it. Oh, and O'Neill was attacking it! And Pepe Reina forced into a real evasive action there.
Brilliant save, what a ball in from Stuart Downing. And Gary O'Neill just takes a chance and gambles and gets inside of Aurelio. He's on his heel slightly there, the Brazilian. It's a good save from Pepe Reina.
Well, he's rescued Liverpool many times, no doubt he did there. And that will maybe increase the belief for Middlesbrough, which is a quality Gareth Southgate has suggested they've been lacking recently.
We've had good chances, haven't we, at either end? It's been an open start to the game.
No real surprise that Downing's first involvement led to something fruitful for Middlesbrough. He's been complaining that he hasn't been seeing as much of the ball this season as he would like. We saw the danger that he can pose with that delivery, and Gary O'Neill gambling upon it. This is Arca. Pogatetz. Downing again. Not much to aim at in the box.
Well, O'Neill's on his heels this time. You'd want him to make the same kind of run again. Put it in that corridor of uncertainty there. Stuart Downing receives it in a good wide area again. It's whipped in, and Gary O'Neill just takes a chance, and it's a good contact. It's a decent save from Reina.
Well, certainly encouragement for the home team, whose duck is nearly at 8.5 hours in the Premier League now, and counting.
I'm sure Gareth Southgate will be very encouraged defensively with how they've started.
There are plenty of players capable of unlocking the door, though. One of them on the ball, now Kaut. Skirtle with Elzar with him on the flank. Here's Carragher. Mascherano. Babel. Wheater closing him out. Kaut. Pogatetz reading the situation. A chance of note at either end in the opening, quarter of an hour or so. It's not been a game that has been noted for its goal-mouth action in recent seasons. Plenty of nil-nils, always been tight affairs here. Talked about Liverpool's lack of a victory here. Borough haven't beaten Liverpool at home for 4 seasons.
Well, both teams are known for scoring a lot of their goals in the second half, so I'm mildly surprised by the opportunities that have arisen in this first period.
Aurelio's delivery, Kaut to latch onto it! And Brad Jones turned it over the top, but another opportunity for Liverpool.
Well, both sides are not defending very well. It's a great chance, if we're being honest, for Kay. It's a very good first touch. The second one's even better, if we're being honest. A decent strike. It's just above Brad Jones, and you expect him to save it. And he does that well in the end.
Well, no shortage of chances. Dirk Kuyt has been delivering in the Premier League lately, 2 in his last 2.
Just feel if he went on either side, may have culminated in a goal.
Well, Aurelio to meet it. And the pressure stays on, corner given.
It's half a chance, you know. He'd be disappointed with the finish there, Aurelio.
Well, he does have a lovely left foot. He didn't show it there.
He's fortunate that's taken the slightest of deflections just to receive another corner from it.
Skirtle in the wrestling match there. No one ahead of the ball for Middlesbrough. So it's going to come straight back. Mascherano. Alonso. Gerrard's touch. Skirtle. Count. Bogatet's in control. And Sami Hyypiä to step in. Now Gerrard. Pocket of space for him to work with. And Babel here. And Brad Jones with another save. They're mounting up now.
Yeah, it's a decent one. Now they're just starting to exert more and more pressure, aren't they, Liverpool? Just starting to get into their stride. Good ball in by Gerrard, and Babel just peeled off the shoulder of Robert Huth, the German there. Good opportunity again.
O'Neill seeking out Ali Adier. Brad Jones is getting busier and busier.
He is. They're just getting more and more into their stride, Liverpool. It's a tight angle for Babel, and he makes the most of it. Hits the target, tests the keeper, but he deals with it comfortably there, Jones.
Well, 1 goal in 17 Premier League games for Ryan Babel. Very memorable one, though.
I'm sure his argument will be he's been played in a wide area more often than not. He seems to be drifting in off his perch today more often than he has done in previous games. It looks like Rafa's given him the licence to float around that front line. He knows the pressure's on them. They need to win this game to, you know, exert a little pressure on Man United, and then you never know how Man United will react to that.
Well, there is a chance to close the gap to a single point before Manchester United play again in Premier League action. Liverpool have got this match here against Middlesbrough and then a home game against Sunderland on Tuesday night before Manchester United's trip to Tyneside on Wednesday.
I'm sure Rafa will look at it as a great opportunity to gain 6 points. I'm sure Middlesbrough and Sunderland, but especially Middlesbrough, will have something to say about that today.
It shouldn't be forgotten, Sunderland did keep Arsenal out at the Emirates last week. And that's ahead of us, the business here on Teesside. Aurelio delivers over Count's head this time. Babel! Shoots block.
Yeah, it was average defending from the German, but he made up for it with the block.
Robert Huth getting importantly in the way of Ryan Babel's effort there. He's had so many injury absences since he arrived at Middlesbrough, mostly over a long-standing ankle problem, which meant he actually failed a medical when the transfer was first mooted. Well, the one thing that does nag with the Liverpool fans is they've not really lasted the distance in a title race for a number of years now. 1997, the last time they were in contention in the month of May. That, at the very least, surely has to be the aim, to push it as long as possible. Elzar, Alonso, Gerrard, Count. And Matthew Bates under pressure. But Borough get the decision.
They've been afforded a lot of space in there, aren't they, Liverpool, to play their little 1-2s, and there's cohesion in their play. They have to be very, very careful, this Middlesbrough back line.
Well, Rick Parry's impending departure. I don't think it'd be mourned in Middlesbrough too much. He was in office at the Premier League when a 3-point deduction condemned Borough to the drop in 1997. Downing's in here.
Oh, he just doesn't get it right, does he? Runs off the back of Martin Skirtle. He's having a problem in that fullback position, and Downing's the benefit of it. just didn't make the most of it there, Downing.
Well, he's been the source of most of what's been positive about Middlesbrough. It's left for Alonso. Well, you can never breathe easily when he gets the ball there.
Well, you can see what he's trying to do, can't you? It's one of those where Alonso's saying, don't watch the eyes, and he's trying to whip it into that far corner. He's got the quality to do it. But I just feel you're going to have to keep on watching this wide area, because Downing's really getting the better of Skirtle. Not offside. Gets to the other side of him, and he's just got to slip it along that 6-yard line there, and Ali Adier might have a simple tap-in. Gets it all running. Probably it's taken a bobble, hasn't it? And that's why I'll give him a little excuse there, Downing, for not executing that ball across the 6-yard line properly.
Well, certainly a terrific chance for Middlesbrough, which they've let slip by. That's Tunchai. David Wheater, who's had his spells in the cold this season, also spell out at right back, but back where he began the season. Back where he got himself in contention for England honours in their squad at the start of the season.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, he wants to do that, but I'm sure Gareth Southgate will target that little area there of Skirtle against Downing and say, yeah, he's a centre-half playing in that full-back position. He doesn't look comfortable.
Well, it is a big surprise to see him there as opposed to Jamie Carragher. Potential frailty which Middlesbrough have sought to expose. This is Elzar. Bates. Tunchai stepping in. Alonso. Elzar into Gerrard. Now Skirtle involved with the attack. Alonso. Gerrard showing for it. Thought about the shot and then fired it.
Yeah, but Jones always had it covered. Decent play from Gerrard. It's a little ball inside and he just gets himself that half a yard. Doesn't need to be asked twice to take the shot on. The effort's decent, but it's never really troubling Brad Jones.
We did get that all-important winner at Anfield against Middlesbrough earlier in the season. It's kind of set the tone for Liverpool's season. There have been so many late rescue acts, late goals, achieving victories. Scored 12 times in the last 10 minutes of matches. Middlesbrough's strong suit has been second-half goals as well. Well, we've seen chances so far. That's when usually things turn, when these two are involved.
Could be famous last words, but it looks like a game that they may have some goals in it. Okay, this fixture over the years hasn't been conducive to a lot of goal scoring, but the way this game started, it's been an open, free-flowing game at a good tempo.
This is Jamie Carragher for Liverpool. One or two Liverpool players. Well, Alonso looking for Babel here. Will it fall for Count? Aurelio and Gerrard arriving. Block from Pogatet.
Oh, he was very lucky there. Very good play again from Liverpool, wasn't it? And they opened Middlesbrough up.
Another presentable opening. Probably Robert Huth actually who made the final block there for Middlesbrough.
He's been defending heroically so far. He's been getting in some good, decent blocks for his team.
Bates hassled off that, but hassled off it illegally by Xavi Alonso. Meat and drink for Mascherano in the end.
It's poor, isn't it, when you hit that front man? He's got more quality than that, Gary O'Neill.
Well, half-hour mark reached at the Riverside. Bogatet's still up and Wheater too. Tunchai trying to get it down. And forces Carragher to concede a corner. And suddenly we hear the Riverside roar. Well, what can Downing conjure here? No shortage of targets. Oh, danger! Own goal! Xabi Alonso and Middlesbrough take the lead against Liverpool at the Riverside.
Well, it's so unfortunate for Xabi Alonso. It's a decent ball in by Downing, and he just bounces off him. He's not aware of it. There's a mixture of man-for-man marking and zonal in there, and he's more worried about, I think it's who, than about the ball, and it just inadvertently goes in off his thigh, and Rayner can't react to that. It's a very good ball in by Stuart Downing, but there's been a vulnerability earlier in the season from Liverpool and set pieces, and it's been shown up there.
Well, we said Stuart Downing was the source of most of what have been good for Middlesbrough so far, and well, his set piece in off Xabi Alonso, and well, a goal that's going to be celebrated just as heartily in much of Manchester.
It is. They started well. It's been an open game, but I'm sure Liverpool will be very disappointed to go 1-0 down.
Wheater having to defend the situation there with Count, and Jones able to claim. It was Wheater's presence which was something of a concern for Xabi Alonso in that 6-yard area. Skirtle with another misjudgment, and Downing's in here. Downing goes himself.
He's given Skirtle a torrid time, hasn't he, Stuart Downing? Just hasn't been able to handle him, the Brazilian. The Slovakian Skirtle's had a lot of problems in that full-back area. I'm sure it's something that Rafa Benitez will be looking at half-time.
Babel trying to get the better of Hoyt, but suddenly there's an extra spring in the Middlesbrough step.
Well, it's just Skirtle making a major mistake again, and the Slovakian nearly gets punished for it. Downing takes the shot on and tests Pepe Reina again. It's a major point for Rafa Benitez at half-time. It's something he's seriously got to look at.
Aurelio's delivery. Defended, ironically, by Downing on that occasion, and then forward by Tunchai. Well, Liverpool, not for the first time, have a big rescue act on here. Middlesbrough have been encouraged to show belief. The goal, in somewhat fortunate circumstances, off the body of this man, Xabi Alonso, has surely given them an extra injection of that. And they have been pretty miserly at the back of late. So it is a major test of Liverpool's credentials if they truly see the Premier League title as a genuine possibility. 7 points the gap at the start of play today. Here's Elzar, Xabi Alonso, Mascherano, Gerrard, Babel. Robert Hoop comprehensively robbing him.
I have to say, since the goal, they haven't asked too many questions, Liverpool, have they? Middlesbrough have defended well and looked a threat going forward.
And Liverpool in shock somewhat. I'm sure Gareth Southgate is at finally seeing his team hit the back of the net in the Premier League, by hook or by crook, whichever way it would come. It is a welcome relief. Babel's touch, Alonso. And Ark are able to pick up possession for Borough. Or can they end the half on a high? Sure, it's not going to be particularly gung-ho in this period of injury time. Pogatet's forward. Ali Adier in the battle with Carragher. Well, there's one man who has had a difficult 45 minutes, Martin Skrtel.
It will be interesting to see what he does at half-time. He isn't afforded the option of Arbeloa because he's not on the bench. But I'm sure he will maybe make a change as he slip Carragher to that full-back position and Skrtel back into the centre-half position. But he's definitely, because Dan has definitely had the better of Skrtel.
Well, you wouldn't be surprised if that's the first change he looks at half-time. Count! Youth in the way again. Elzar has had one of the opportunities that Liverpool did fashion in the early stages when they looked the more potent threat. But they haven't unlocked the door with that much frequency since the goal came, if at all. And they're heading for the half-time pies. Well, Liverpool behind at the interval. Middlesbrough ending a goal drought of over 8 hours in the Premier League in somewhat fortunate style. Stuart Downing's excellent delivery from the corner, bouncing in off the body of Xabi Alonso. They're celebrating in the red half of Manchester as well as here at the Riverside, because Liverpool have a real job on here. Half-time, Middlesbrough 1, Liverpool 0. So Middlesbrough get the second half underway in front as they were at Anfield back in August, although the goal came a little later that day. It is an example of Liverpool's resilience when they do go behind. They've managed to pull back 18 points from losing positions so far this season. And if they are to maintain a title challenge of any description, then they will certainly have to produce another rescue act here. David Wheater secure in his defending as Liverpool sort out Ryan Babel.
With his left Skrtel in that fullback position, I thought it was something we talked about before half-time. Thought, would Jamie Carragher maybe come into that fullback position, but he's kept it the same pattern, 4-2-3-1. So obviously he's saying to Martin Skrtel, you've got to defend better against Stuart Downing. But he does look uncomfortable in that fullback area.
Well, it seemed that he had genuinely established himself as the main man alongside Jamie Carragher at centre-back. Did suffer an awful injury at Manchester City earlier in the season, which was another day when Liverpool came from behind to record a victory. But they have had their worries with centre-backs. Daniel Agger also not getting as much football this season because of injury problems. It is a big surprise to see Skrtel where he is. This is Babel. Mascherano. Carragher. Mascherano again, looking for Skrtel in advanced position. Elzar trying to force his way through. Count. Skrtel.
Decent effort. Never really threatening in the end. Good hold-up play from Coates. Takes the effort on. Brad Jones never ever troubled. Sure, Rafa Benitez would have been in the ear of certain Liverpool players. Sure, Martin Skrtel would have been one of them.
Well, will a flea in the ear be enough to bring about an improvement? Here's Sami Hyypiä.
Be interesting to see how long it takes him to make some changes in this second half. Obviously, he has Yossi Benayoun and Albert Riera who can make an impact on this game.
Here's Ryan Babel looking to go at Hoyt. It'll fall for Gerrard here. Elzar! Glorious chance wasted.
What a opportunity. And that's why he holds his head in his hands. Good driving play from Gerrard. And he puts it on a plate for Alzar. He's got to hit the target. He has to test the keeper from here. And not even test the keeper, it's got to be a block on the line, or he's got to score. And it's a great opportunity. And he doesn't make the most of it. He's trying to just put it into that top corner and gets it wrong.
Well, he's had a couple of opportunities today, Nabil Alzar, in his first Premier League start. That's certainly the best of them. But will they pay for their wastefulness? Already behind.
You've just got to keep it hard and low there for me. Not be looking to try and whip it into the top corner. Just make sure you hit the target.
He does have a goal in Liverpool colours in the Carling Cup against Cardiff last season. But that should have been his first in the league. And, well, at least some positive signs. They carved out an excellent chance there. They carved out some decent opportunities in the early stages too. Tunchai fouled. A slow trickle of Middlesbrough bodies going forward. Wheater to attack this, but Hyypiä to win and end up on the ground in some pain.
Yeah, I think he's going to need a little bit of treatment for that little bang on the head. I think it's an honest challenge. He just comes off the worst for it. It's a 50-50 ball and he heads it clear. And he gets the worst of it there with a challenge with Wheater.
Yes, a little bit of blood drawn just above the ear. Well, there's no reason, surely, why this can't go on off the field.
And you feel that's why the home fans are making their feelings known. It's an honest challenge between Wheater and Hyypiä. Just a clash of heads. He just gets the worst of it there. I'm sure maybe need a couple of stitches, but he's a warrior. Sure, he'll be back on the field of play very quickly.
Well, they're the battle scars you expect to get in a long career as a centre-back. Sure, Sami Hyypiä's got a few more than David Wheater, considerably as junior. Here's O'Neill. And now Ali Adier.
Well, they could have taken advantage of Hyypiä being off the field. It's 10 v 11. Middlesbrough recognise that. It's a cute ball back. And Ali Adier gets closed down in the end by Aurelio. Doesn't make the most of it.
Gary O'Neill. It's Mascherano. Well, approaching the hour mark. Robert Huth has certainly dealt with most of what Liverpool have thrown at him, but nearly a very hairy moment for Brad Jones.
He's very, very lucky, Brad Jones. I'm not sure if the referee or the assistant are going to help him. Dirk Kuyt did nothing wrong here, and the kick maybe comes off the arm of Dirk Kuyt, but he could easily have rebounded back into the net, and it would have been interesting to see what decision would have been given if that had happened, because it is a goal kick that has been given.
He did throw the elbow up, didn't he, Dirk Kuyt there, so if that had been spotted, it may have been ruled out anyway.
Well, I don't think it could have been spotted, could it? Because it would have been a free kick on the edge of the box if they'd spotted it and have given a goal kick.
Absolutely. Gerrard trying to bulldoze his way through, but he couldn't get the better of Robert Huth. Stuart Downing helping out defensively to excellent effect for Middlesbrough, but maybe starting to come under a little more pressure here. Aurelio. Babel. Has been a strangely muted atmosphere for the most part in front of what is the biggest crowd at the Riverside here this season. But The voices are making themselves heard now. They've not had a great deal to cheer about. They've not had many goals to acclaim of late. But this, coupled with that excellent victory over West Ham in the week, could be the catalyst they need to get themselves out of the bottom three. Victory today would do that. Ahead of the matches tomorrow, of course.
You just wonder if that Alzar chance is going to be the defining moment. Brad Jones hasn't had many saves to make, especially in this second half. You just feel that Liverpool must ask more questions of this Middlesbrough defence.
Well, he was busy at the beginning, wasn't he, Brad Jones? And you thought that might set the tone for what was to follow, but unfortunately, from a Liverpool perspective, it hasn't really. That count may have been picked up for an attempt at handball there, but ends in the hands of Brad Jones anyway. Not the most convincing of clearances. Fabio Aurelio. Babel can't get the better of Wheater, and O'Neill will keep it alive. Oh, Ali Adier in behind, this is promising. Touchdown! Well, drought is becoming deluge for Middlesbrough, and they're celebrating just as loudly in much of Manchester.
Exceptional play, isn't it, from them? Gary O'Neill works tirelessly down that right flank and then feeds Ali Adier, and he has the awareness to find Tunchai. It's good play by Gary O'Neill. The way to pass is brilliant, and the awareness from Ali Adier is very, very good to pick out Tunchai, and then when you want a cool head, he provides it, and it's an exceptional finish into the far corner. Gives Pepe Reina absolutely no chance. A little bit of luck maybe in that it goes through the legs of Mascherano, but you need that, and they get it, this Middlesbrough attack, and Tunchai doesn't disappoint with the finish.
Well, Tunchai given a yellow card for celebrating and taking his shirt off while doing so, but who can blame him? And Middlesbrough hearts thumping hard. Liverpool seeing their title hopes vanishing before their eyes. They need something major now. This is the man who often provides it, Steven Gerrard. And Jones is tested now, counting there. They want a handball, Elzar, Alonso, and a heroic block by Matthew Bates, and Middlesbrough survive.
Somehow they survive. It was chance after chance, brilliant driving play by Gerrard. Takes a shot off, Jones makes a meal of it. Then there's a couple of ricochets, a couple of blocks and a couple of heroic tackles by Pogatetz and Huth. And somehow they keep it out of their nets.
Well, they're not complaining about the noise now at the Riverside. Well, it's just like London buses, really. You wait, what, 8 hours for one, then two come along at once.
And it's the two tireless workers up front who have combined well. Ali Adier and Tunchai scored in the week. Now that's 2 and 2 for him. And you have to say Middlesbrough performed very well, defended well, and now they've been rewarded with this 2-0 scoreline. Maybe slightly flattering. I'm sure Gareth Southgate won't care a jot about that.
Well, they're on the brink of their first Premier League win since November the 9th. But you never write Liverpool off, and there are still 25 minutes for them to fashion a row back into this match and maybe get something from the game. You just cannot ignore that possibility. They've done it so many times. Middlesbrough readying Marlon King in the dugout, who hasn't been eligible to play in the last 2 games for Borough for different reasons. Cup tie for the West Ham match, the other game against Wigan, his parent club.
I think the surprising thing is that Middlesbrough are making a substitution before Liverpool, but you think it's a matter of time, and Rafa Benitez has got to make a change. It's just, who will it be? Will it be Ngo? Will it be Riera? Will it be Benayoun?
Babel. Gerrard. No way through. Want to try again. Alonso. Sami Hyypiä is an auxiliary striker at the moment. This is Gerrard. And count! Well, you have to say, when you see something like that occur, you know it is not going to be their day.
How has he missed it? I think it's Booth, isn't it, who has the opportunity, allows it to drift across him. Count should be thinking the best. He should put his foot through it. It's a despairing lunge, and he just doesn't manage to make contact.
Well, Ali Adier, who has put in an excellent shift, and he did pick up a knock in the first half, which shouldn't be forgotten, is being withdrawn. The creator of the second goal, Marlon King, gets another opportunity, while David Ngo is ready for Liverpool, and Nabil El Zar is making his way off. So the attacking changes come, and how it's needed.
Well, it's not attacking in terms of Marlon King. He is attacking, he is attacker, but I'm sure you'll say, just work tirelessly. We're not looking for a goal from you. We're just looking for much of the same of what Ali Adier provided. Work the channels and make it difficult for Liverpool to create their attacks. And Go will definitely go right up to that the front of that attack for Liverpool and supplement the attack and join up with Kaut. And we'll see how their combination play works for them. But they need to provide much, much more. They haven't tested Brad Jones enough. They've got into good areas. Alzar had an opportunity, and Kaut maybe could have got on the end of that cross there. But they need to provide much, much more.
O'Neill is onside. Won't fall for King, but it'll fall for Downing. In towards O'Neill, the flag is up this time. Matador, the official on the far side.
It's Downing who whips it in. A little bit lazy maybe. Tunchai getting back. And I'm sure he'll say he's got the second goal, and that's why he can afford to be a little bit. But just what Marlon King's doing now, I'm sure that's what Gareth Southgate is looking for from him. Just to make a nuisance of himself up that front line. And create mistakes from the likes of Jamie Carragher there.
Well, a mistake there by Jamie Carragher, which has kind of summed up Liverpool's afternoon so far. You do have to wonder about the somewhat surprised decision to field Martin Skrtel as a right-back today, instead of Jamie Carragher, who's played there a fair bit recently.
Sure, also the inclusion of Alzar in a wide area. Could have played Benayoun, could have played Riera. Declined to do so. And it hasn't worked for him.
And do you dare suggest that this is a situation that would be crying out for Robbie Keane?
Well, as he look again, the brilliant finish from Tunchai, a calm finish. It's just unfortunate that he receives a yellow card for his celebrations.
Well, it's the first booking of a game which hasn't seen much in the way of dalliances with the disciplinary sanctions.
It's a little thing that grates with me. You know, players get yellow cards for challenges, and when they get it for a yellow card for taking their shirt off when they're excited, I don't feel it's justified.
I mean, that's a huge goal for Middlesbrough's season if they can see this through. They're going to see it. They're going to See it through against the Liverpool side that does not contain Jamie Carragher any longer. Yossi Benayoun, hero of the Bernabeu in midweek, makes an entrance. And considerable readjustment for Liverpool now.
Yeah, Mascherano in the right full-back position. And Skirtle's kicked across into that centre-half familiar position that he likes to play in alongside Hyypiä. And Yossi Benayoun will play on the right side. Try and provide some attacking thrust.
Less than 20 minutes left at the Riverside. Brad Jones confidently claiming. And getting the ball to Stuart Downing as early as possible, which has not been a bad idea this afternoon. Tunchai making a burst. Oh, and Marlon King, surely he can kill it! Rayner denying it. Bates. Well, that's the problem that Liverpool will just have to live with now.
What a chance to make it 3-0. Put the game totally out of Liverpool's reach. Doesn't make the most of it there, Marlon King. A good save from Pepe Reina. Great bit of play from Downing, and the weight of pass from Tunchai is good, and wasn't convincing in the finish, Marlon King. You just look at this Middlesbrough performance and you wonder how they're in the bottom three position. Been exceptional, they've worked hard. As a major challenge goes in here that Liverpool are not happy about.
Yeah, one or two frustrations coming to the boil there.
Sure, they're frustrated because they're on the end of a 2-0 deficit. It's a strong challenge that's put in. Maybe slightly over the top of the ball there by Matthew Bates, and Ryan Babel gets the worst of it. He gets the ball. I think it's an honest challenge, but an aggressive one.
Well, the information we just heard was probably not correct, because, well, Steven Gerrard is departing, and maybe, just maybe, Liverpool's hopes today are departing with him. Lucas comes on.
You just hope it's not that hamstring, because if it is, that'll be the culmination of an awful day for Rafael Benitez and this Liverpool side.
Alonso's delivery. That's Robert Huth there again, getting a touch. Well, as effective as Downing has been at one end, Robert Huth has emerged with enormous credit for his performance defensively today for Middlesbrough. Hyypiä was in there, and Skirtle arriving.
Well, he was unmarked up here, and he got a flick on the cross, challenged by Huth, and then a good defending. Middlesbrough putting pressure. It was a difficult chance for Skirtle.
He's not scored in what are now 40 appearances for Liverpool since his arrival from Zenit St. Petersburg.
Ball was just rising, wasn't it, as he came to him. Difficult opportunity.
Bates towards King. Adam Johnson is stripped and ready, by the way, for Borough. Just standing in the dugout at the moment. This is Downing. Beautifully taken down. Oh, and a terrific delivery. O'Neill! Oh, what a goal that would have been.
A special attack that is. Great technique from Gary O'Neill. Stuart Downing again. Brilliant ball in. And the technique shown by Gary O'Neill is very, very good. He makes good contact with it. Done this throughout the game, Downing, getting to the byline and whipping it into a good area. Well, I tell you, make no mistake, that's a difficult chance, and he nearly succeeds in scoring the third goal there.
Aurelio. Here's Count. Ryan Babel, and now Aurelio. And Ayoub making a move. Well, it's not been a memorable occasion for him in comparison with events on Wednesday night. And while Rafa Benitez's record in European competition has been exemplary, and they have made huge strides towards the title this season, domestic success in the league is still some way away.
That's why this is the best league in the world. It's not a major surprise to me today, this result. I thought the Middlesbrough a bit of a bogey team to this Liverpool Football Club. It's been proven right.
Well, the 7-year wait is likely to be extended since Liverpool last won here at the Riverside. And their failure to do so today, very costly. Here's Pogatetz being roared on. And King with a tap-in.
I think he'll be
But the flag is
offside.
up.
Yeah, he's standing in an offside position. Unfortunately for Marlon King. Exceptional play from Pogatetz. And then he just hesitates, and then it's just only half a yard. It's tighter than I thought it would be. Maybe Marlon King looking along the line could have kept himself onside.
Mascherano's delivery, and headed over the top by Gavin Ngo.
It's a free header for Ngo. It's a good whipped-in ball by Mascherano. Mascherano and Ngo didn't make the most of it.
Well, Middlesbrough over the line. Maybe the race is over for Rafael Benitez in Liverpool. It's still early to say that, but my goodness, this is a potentially shattering blow.
I think it is safe to say Man United have won the Premier League now. You can't. He's 7 points behind. And Man United have got a game in hand.
Huth is there again to prevent Count's ball from reaching his compatriot, Ryan Babel.
No matter what happens in the week, OK, they could beat Sunderland and it goes to 4. But it's in Man United's hands now. And I think they won't lose. They'll make the most of it.
A massive lift for Middlesbrough in their bid to stay in the Premier League. But Liverpool's hopes of winning it have suffered a shattering blow here. Middlesbrough's first Premier League win since November the 9th. Their first goals in over 8 hours of football in this league. An own goal by Xabi Alonso, and then an emphatic second-half finish from Tunçay, securing all 3 points for Middlesbrough. And Manchester United are going to take some catching now in the title race. The final score at the Riverside, Middlesbrough 2, Liverpool 0.
Well, Gareth, you talked in the build-up to this game about having belief. That belief was certainly justified today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think that the manner of the performance was excellent. You know, it was great to put a performance like we did in midweek and then put another performance of a similar quality today. We knew we'd have to be at our best. We were a threat going forward. We were very strong as a team defensively. And, you know, it was an important win for us. We said a few weeks ago, we drew 0-0 here with Blackburn. We had to be difficult to play against, and we've built on that. We've had 4 clean sheets in our last 6, and that's the basis for giving us results. And now we're just starting to score again, and you can see the confidence coming back through the side.
Well, Rafa, what do you see as the key reason for Liverpool's defeat today?
For me, clearly, you have to take your chances if you want to win these games. So it's the first 30 minutes we had 5 chances and we didn't score a goal.
Do you think that has been a problem this season, your inability maybe to kill teams off at times when you've had the opportunity?
Yeah, clearly has been a problem during the season, and today was the same.
It's quite a contrast to the emotions after Wednesday night. I mean, how do you explain a week that's been so strange, 2 different outcomes in 2 games so close together?
It's difficult because we didn't have too many chances against Real Madrid, and today we had a lot, and we won the other game and we lost this one.
A lot was made, of course, of the goal drought in the league and the manner of the goal today. Do you see it as good fortune, or did the delivery deserve it?
Well, we'd had a look at the way they defend, and we felt that was something that we could exploit, and it was great to see that work on the field as well.
How satisfying is that victory today?
Yeah, it's a big win for us. You know, we needed a win, and you know, against a team against Liverpool, it's even better. But you know, we're starting to come into a little bit of form, and you know, it's probably at the right time.
I was going to say, is that a performance that's been brewing for some time?
I think that's why we get frustrated, and you know, the fans do, because we can put in performances like that, and then you know, we're inconsistent a little bit in the next week. So you know, we've got to keep playing like that. It doesn't matter who it's against, if it's Liverpool or if it's someone else low bit in the table. You know, it's got to be like that week in, week out, and you know, we have to do that to the end now. I
thought, you know, there were several of our players that had big performances, as you have to. Stuart's in great form, and we know if our good players, our better players play well, then we've every chance of moving up the table, and we've got to continue to do it.
Do you see this as a terminal blow to your title challenge? Do you think there is still a chance you can win it?
Before the game was very difficult, now it will be more difficult.
Does that change your focus at all?
Not really. We have to play against Sunderland on Tuesday, so we have to think about Sunderland, and after we will think about Real Madrid.
Do you look at this game, Manchester City last week, and you, of course, playing Sunderland before Manchester United next play, you had an opportunity to actually go top before United's next league game. A golden chance, really.
We knew that we could reduce the gap, but again, I would say you have to score goals if you want to win.
And can this week's events be a real catalyst for you in your bid to get away from the trouble you're in?
Should be. You know, with beliefs come back. I think to get a full house today was phenomenal. You know, with the run that we've had. The backing of the fans was fantastic, and there's no doubt that inspired the team, because in those moments when they were tired, the crowd got going again, and they carried them through. So it was great to see a bit of a coming together again.